knees, ready to put on my black football sneaks. I weigh 295 pounds. Blah! Watch your body hit the ground. I'm ready to bang. Hell, sleet, or rain. I'm like the Great Dane, tearing out your frame. They hit me in my back. Watch my ribs rock. 2.5 weeks, was all be back. On your march, get ready, get set, I'm gone. Listen to the chorus on this song.
One mind, one team, one heart, one plan. The whole, one goal, one star. To dominate the art of the black and blue. And watch the Super Bowl dreams till they all come true.
Today we're talking about Anquan Boldin possibly coming to the Baltimore Ravens. Is it possible? Yes, it is. Baltimore, as you know, is favored for Boldin to come to the Ravens. Right now, there's three main teams in the mix: New York, Philadelphia, and Baltimore. A lot of teams are now reporting that New York will step away from the plate from Boldin to go after, I believe, Edwards in Cleveland as a wide receiver there, or use one of their draft picks to draft a wide receiver for New York. So right now, it looks like New York might not even be in the mix. The other thing we're going to talk about is Philadelphia. Philadelphia Eagles are still in the mix to possibly get Anquan Boldin, and the only thing that I'm concerned with is, for one, I don't believe Philadelphia needs a wide receiver. If they do address it in the draft, not in free agency. Put your concern on running backs, not on wide receivers. But again, they're still in the mix. However, right now, for some reason, they have Baltimore favored over Philadelphia. Now, here's what happens if Baltimore, and these are some of the things that could happen. A lot of news stations in Arizona are reporting that Arizona, if Boldin comes to Baltimore, that Arizona will negotiate a possible trade for a first and third round draft pick from the Baltimore Ravens to the Arizona Cardinals. Some of them are reporting some wacky ideas that Baltimore will trade a player, possibly another wide receiver or a linebacker to Arizona. One site called for Terrell Suggs. I don't believe any of that, honestly. But again, this is some of these sports writers. The main focus right now is Baltimore would possibly lose a first or third round draft pick if negotiated, and Boldin would become a Raven. Boldin is a 28-year-old, three-time Pro Bowler wide receiver, with 11 touchdowns last year for 1,038 yards, pardon me, and for the NFC West Divisional Champions Arizona Cardinals. So, he's a good wide receiver. As you know, earlier in the season, Baltimore was talking about possibly going after Holt. It never happened. A lot of speculation was on Marvin Harrison. That never happened. Some came across the idea that Owens was coming to Baltimore. I never believed that, but that didn't happen as well. So, even though you got two main frontrunners right now, even though Giants are still in the mix, I'm considering two right now: Philadelphia and Baltimore. You still got some teams that still could make an offer within any time. So here's the options. Baltimore can wait until the draft, which, in my opinion, if it goes the way they're saying, now, it can go anyway. I mean, negotiations come down to the point where they don't have to, they won't even have to trade their first pick. But you just never know. This is the main thing that's coming through right now. That Baltimore would wait till the draft, and in the first round of the draft a wide receiver. The two main men that they're looking at right now is obviously Darius Heyward-Bey, that he worked out with the Ravens, worked out with Joe Flacco, and Hakeem Nicks from North Carolina. Who would I love to see in Baltimore? I'd love to see Darius Heyward-Bey. Great player, works out great speed, but he's going to be in competition in the draft. And the only thing you got to be concerned about, if Baltimore does not get Boldin and waits to get a wide receiver in the first round, if they even decide to get a wide receiver in the first round, in my opinion, even though I'd love to see them grab a wide receiver, grab a linebacker first. Losing Bart Scott was a big hit to us. So, if they wait till the draft and get a wide receiver, the better option would be to get Nicks, some other wide receivers out there. I don't know if Heyward-Bey is going to last all the way to Baltimore. There's some other speculation that Indianapolis wanted him. There's some things that one of the Golden State West Coast teams wanted him. So I mean, it's just a lot of speculation out there. There's some other sites reporting as well that Baltimore won't do it because of the cost. Baltimore, it would be a huge signing bonus. Whoever gets him, he would get a huge signing bonus. There's some rumors of that. But again, what is Baltimore doing? I want your opinion. I mean this too. I don't want to just say this and then somebody leave like 3 comments. I want everybody's opinion to watch this video, so you have one. If you don't have an opinion, then you don't have an opinion. But if you do, does Baltimore get Boldin, or does Baltimore wait till the draft? And if whatever one you pick, tell me why you think that in a short sentence, and I'll and I'll make sure to live on FM radio there when we do that in a couple weeks. So I mean, you think about it. Baltimore waits until, and if this ever, I mean, again, this is just a speculation right now, so it's not 100% true. Does Baltimore wait till the draft, get a wide receiver in the draft in the first or second round, or do they give up their first and third round picks for Boldin? Comes to Baltimore, great weapons for Joe Flacco to work with. He's a great threat to other teams, and he's another step to get towards that Lombardi Trophy that we desperately need next February to get us our two very deserved Super Bowls we haven't had in a very long time, since '01. So I don't know, with this schedule that we have this year, with Joe Flacco now getting a lot better, with a lot of our players coming back from injuries, with getting Ray back, having Terrell Suggs, having L.J. Smith now as our tight end, Chris Carr, Dominic Foxworth, Matt Burke as center, adding Boldin would only enhance the Ravens' chances of becoming an all-star team, just like the Pittsburgh Steelers do. But then a lot of people say, all right, well, you got to be concerned with, you just don't want to think about the teams, I guess, oh, well, we're getting an all-star player, it's going to be good. You never just want to think about that. You always want to think about, is it going to hurt the Ravens in the draft? And that's your main thing. Is it going to hurt the Ravens, economic-wise? Is it going to hurt the Ravens when it comes to player-wise? You just don't know. A lot of the Ravens, the Ravens general manager told some reporters that it's in discussion right now. And a lot of times I don't mean that they're in discussion with the Cardinals, or in discussion with management, with offensive management, to decide whether this is a good chance for them. Like I know, a lot of players came to Baltimore. Just because a player does meet with Baltimore, just because a rumor comes out by the media, does not mean it's 100% true. Baltimore quickly shot down the rumor of Terrell Owens coming to the Ravens. I know a lot of the media, I looked on the site one time before he was taken to the Bills. It said Baltimore most likely to get Owens, and I looked at it. At first I'm excited. He's a good player, too dramatic for me, too out, too just me. But still, it excites you to see an all-star like that come to Baltimore. But then again, it was shot down by the Ravens on Ravens.com. So I don't know. What do you think? Do you think Baltimore's going to get Boldin? Does he come to the Ravens? Does he leave? Or does he not? Does he come to the Ravens, or does he go somewhere else? Does the Ravens wait till the draft? I mean, explain this to me. What do you think? He'd be a good player. He would be, like I said, a great weapon for Joe Flacco to work with. And I would be happy to see him in purple and white. Also, real quick, it's a beautiful day outside. I was going to do a video outside today, but there's so many distractions outside. Everybody's like, hey, hi. I mean, you're sitting there trying to do a video, and everybody's looking at you, waving at you like you're on TV or something. I'm sitting there, I'm just looking at him, so I said I'm going to come to my house. So it's a beautiful day outside. Very humid outside where I am, so I said whatever, I'll come in and do a video. But anyway, you want to join me tomorrow, because tomorrow we're doing Mock Draft Sunday. We're doing picks 1 through 3. We believe that the Ravens are going to go through in the draft. However, again, if this Boldin situation comes down to the Ravens getting him, it'll change the whole situation in our perspective. But right now, we're acting like Boldin has not, is not coming to the Ravens, so we're just going to be predicting the first, second, and third rounds of the NFL mock draft for the Baltimore Ravens tomorrow. I'll be here most likely by myself. Jeff may be with me, I'm not sure. And then we'll discuss more on that. But all this week's going to be about the draft, so just stay with us. All these videos are about the draft. But again, Anquan Boldin, a couple issues here. On the Ravens' radar, yes. Baltimore wants him, yes. They would love to have a great weapon or ammunition for their weapons. And Baltimore is favored for some reason, and I'm looking at a lot of these sites for some reason. And I want somebody to explain this to me, because I know why they have him over Baltimore over New York again. In my opinion, New York's going after these wide receivers. This wide receiver from Cleveland, and a lot of issues they're going to wait till the draft to get a receiver. But then again, it could turn around. Doesn't mean that they're just not going to forget about him. But a lot of the media partners are taking them out of the mix. A lot of ours around, that I know especially. But they still have Philadelphia and Baltimore as the two main front runners right now. Again, Baltimore just emerging. Boldin telling, as you know, Boldin wants out of Arizona. Arizona's trying to find a way to trade him, but they're trying to negotiate a way where they can fit them best. They're not just going to give this Pro Bowler away, just like that. They're going to find a way that benefits them too, and that's what you got to watch. Is it worth the risk?